Welcome to chess, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys very much for stopping by. I tell you what, man, I've been trying to make this video all day. It's been a crazy day, man. I hope to make another video after this, man, but at least I'm gonna get this one down, son. So I went back to yesterday and I got one of the games that Wesley So played with Levon Aronian. As you guys probably are aware, he won that matchup and he went back to play Hikaru today. So I'm trying to get one of those videos too. But this is one of their games that they played, and I promise you, this is something you really want to see. It's nice, man. Levon goes all out, man, to try to get this victory, man. So does he get the victory or not? That is the question. All of my people in the Philippines, I would say mabuhay to you, magandang umaga. It is still morning, 11 a.m. Not quite afternoon yet, so magandang hapon if you see this in the afternoon. But if you guys are ready, let's take a look and see what we got for this game. So we got e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6. We got bishop to b5, knight to f6. Now we do have the Berlin defense. But I'd say to you again, this is unlike any Berlin that you ever seen in your life. Like, if you saw this game and you estimated what the Berlin was like, you would not know at all that it was like a drawn type of opening. You would be like, wow, man, this is like the craziest opening ever. Exactly. You're going to see that coming up. We see castles by white. This does give up the pawn on e4, but as you guys probably are aware, this does not give up the pawn because you do have the move d4. You also have the move rook to e1, just taking advantage of the fact this king is in the center of the board. So either one of those moves work. So we have like very typical stuff coming up early in the game. So we do see d4, knight to d6, bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6, pawn takes e5, knight to f5, queen takes d8 with check, king takes d8 with check. So this is all like really standard stuff. So we don't start going left until a little bit from now. We do see the move knight to c3, very common move. We got king back over to e8. We got h3, bishop to e6. And this is where we start to kind of go a little bit left. You have a whole lot of options in this particular position. You have rook to d1, you got knight over to e4, you got knight back to e2, you also have g4 just kicking this knight away. So like I said, you have a lot of options. You pretty much could play anything you want in this position. But what we see in the game is actually knight to g5. Now, this actually allows black to attack one of your pieces that is really not easily defended. Like, this piece is actually kind of really hard to defend if you don't defend it pretty immediately, or at least give the ability to move it. And this is something Wesley So immediately, pounces on, and it is the move knight to d4. The problem is, what kind of are you doing about this pawn? You're going on an attack, you're leaving your pawn in the dust. So, hopefully you got a plan. So let's see what Levon has up his sleeve. So knight takes e6. We got pawn taking e6 because we really do want to snap this pawn on c2. The bishop comes to g5. We got knight taking c2, of course, because you're like, why not get a pawn, homie? So we got rook a to d1. And then Wesley So is thinking, bro, I'm still kind of hungry, man. Let me see if I can get another pawn. So the knight does come to b4. At least at the very minimum, what you're doing is you're tying this knight down to pretty much like staying here. Either that or, pushing the pawn. You're wanting to redirect your knight up here because it will, affect your pawn structure, get, this weakness out of here or whatever. So, you have a lot of different ideas. But we do see knight to e4. And we got knight takes a2. And I think Wesley So at this point is like, wait, another pawn? Am I about to lose? What am I doing right here? Because, sometimes you reach and go for pawns. I know you guys have experienced in your games. You mess around and go for some pawns, and then you're like, a couple moves in, you're like, dang, why did I get them pawns, bro? Because now I'm losing. So, anyways, we got to see what's rolling. So, g4 comes, and like I said, man, Levon might kind of know what he's doing a little bit. We got knight up to b4, which is the novelty of the game. I'm not really sure where else the knight went. The knight has to go to b4 at some point. So, why not now? Because, you have to escape it. But we do see the move f4. We got h6. And we don't really have a whole lot of options for the bishop. We got to go back to h4. And we do see knight to d5. We got the move f5, and then knight comes to e3. And Wesley So is like, am I dreaming? Am I really doing good in this game, or what's going on? Because, you're really kind of, if you're black, you're not really buying what white is talking about. Because, you're about to drop an exchange. Is this attack right here that serious? Well, let's see, man. Pawn takes e6, knight takes d1. And then I was actually going to do this as the guess the move, but I think it's too obvious of a move. Because clearly if I ask you if it's a guess the move right here, and I mean, you know, it's obviously not going to be rook takes d1 because that's too like obvious of a move. So I think everybody would have come up with rook to f7. And we got the move a rook to c8 because Wesley So was like, bro, you're not getting any of my pawns, homie. I'm getting all of your pawns. You're not getting any of mine. So we have actually reached a point in the game. And I honestly feel like nobody's going to get this move. Unless if you're seeing the game already, stop cheating. But if you want to pause the video right here and try and guess and see what move Levon Aronian finds and plays in this position is actually like one of the top moves. Go ahead and do so right now. Okay, so it kind of shifts back and forth between like the absolute best move and something like that. Bishop g3 is definitely one of those moves. I'm not looking for that one though. The move that I'm actually looking for, which does threaten checkmate if you don't play correctly, is bishop to f6. So, I mean, you guys are seeing the position like I'm seeing the position, right? You see that, I mean, black is a piece to the good. And, let's see, he is a pawn to the good too. And Levon is deciding he wants to give up another piece. Like I said, be careful. Because if you do not play this correctly, pawn will take f6. And then you have knight taking f6 with check. And then the king goes over to its only square, d8. And then you do cry a river because you just allowed Levon Aronian to prove, you know, that his playing was justified. Don't do that, though. Don't allow him to prove that this is great. Because, I mean, you see the bar goes back down. This is absolutely losing for Levon Aronian. They're playing a quicker game, but it's still like a 10-minute game. So it's not like it's a bullet game. So, I don't know. He's kind of playing a little too kamikaze for my liking, man. But, I mean, I guess he's like, hey, whatever. Screw it. I'm going to play. I'm going to have some fun or whatever. So Wesley So notices, of course, taking the bishop is dead. You're dead meat if you do that. So he just simply moves rook over to g8. You had the option to play a lot of different moves in that position, as long as you did not take the bishop. So we got the move g5. Levon is like, bro, I'm all in. I'm all in on this attack, bro. I'm going to checkmate you somehow. So we got knight up to e3. So Wesley So is thinking in this position, bro. Like, my knight, so basically right now it's 3 pieces against 3 pieces. I got to get my 4th piece into the action because then I can be superior in pieces. And he decides to give his knight a little tour. Goes e3 first. After g6, we got knight to d5, and now we have 0 problems if we're black. The whole checkmate scenario I was telling you guys a second ago with this knight taking here with check, and then this is going to be mate. It's all null and void because this knight is here, and it's basically stopping that check. So now, like black or white literally doesn't have an attack anymore. And he's hoping that Wesley So just like blunders the game away, which, I mean, Wesley So, he's a little bit too strong for that. To just, I mean, this is like 2-1. We got bishop back to h4. We got bishop to e7. What better thing to do when you're up a piece than to trade pieces down? Because if you do the math, 4 pieces and 3 pieces, right? Like, if you lose a piece each, somebody's going to end up with 1 piece, and that's going to be Wesley So. So we got bishop taking e7, knight taking e7. There really wasn't anything better. And then Levon Aronian says, you know what, bro? I have not given up enough pieces. Knight to d6 with check. Whew. Man, I'm saying, when Levon Aronian is going all in, he's going all in, bro. He's like, bro, I'm not leaving anything to chance. This absolutely 100% doesn't work. And Wesley So, he sits there for a minute and he's like, bro, this doesn't work, dog. So he just captures a knight and then pawn takes. The only thing that white has going for it is all of these pawns like right next to the king. You kind of have this d7 check, but it's like you're up so many pieces that it doesn't even matter. So Wesley So just says, bro, I'm just going to grab a pawn. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging. I'm not worried about this check because you're just going to move, move over. You're going to get that. But I still got 2 whole pieces, bro. Like, I'm good to go. So we got the move h4. And you have to actually be kind of careful in this position. If you are Wesley So, because it might be very tempting to grab this pawn right here. But you have actually just allowed a complete draw in the game. And it's going to come after this. You cannot escape these checks, bro. So this will be a really horrible ending to the game. Like, to check and to get stalemated in this fashion. So like I said, we do see this position here. Wesley So, he does sit here for a minute, for like 2 minutes. And he decides, hey, like, I'm not going to do that. So I'll go rook to b8. We got the move h5 because this is my last absolute ditch effort. And he just says, bro, I'm just going to calmly go back night to FA and I'm going to ask you, what do you have? And that is nothing. And it is in this position that Levon Aronian resigns the game. And I realized at this moment that I forgot to speak Armenian. Both of these players are from other countries. And, you know, so, like I said, I meant to speak Armenian. So, for those of you that are coming from Armenia, I will say Vokjuven to you and merci. I appreciate you guys very much for stopping by. Yeah, I mean, this game, it was actually kind of interesting. This definitely looks like a game that would be played in a bullet scenario where somebody's just throwing the kitchen sink at you and you're just spending like all day trying to think and then you lose on time, which I do literally all the time. Like, I'm like, I know I'm winning, but it's like I can't figure out how to put my pieces in crap and then I lose on time. And then the other person's like, yeah, you suck at chess, bro. Anyways, man, don't even get me started on my own personal chess. Like, you know, trials and tribulations. But anyways, I appreciate you guys very much for stopping by. Maraming salamat aking mga kaibigan po sa nanonood ng aking mga video. Merci for coming by and taking a look at my stuff if you are from Armenia. And I will see you guys next time.